process modeling. I think should I just give you an overview of the process modeling again? I just take you quickly in 2-3 minutes. So in process modeling, first what do we have? Define logical actions. Logical actions, we have different logical actions. These are SAP given logical actions like create, change, delete, display, such kind of mass upload for multiple objects to be processed. And define, create your business activities. Business object activities are specific to data model or particular data. So here we link multiple business activities to one logical action. So if you see here, create can be specific to material here, and create supplier, here logical action is same. Similarly, create supplier. Like that, we have a different business activities for same logical action. So business activity, after we create the business activity, we go and create the change request types. So in the change request types, we give this is the edit statuses, and we have different statuses. And in the different statuses, here we can see different options: no processing, change object list, execution of changes. This we have seen already. And so in the change request type, one business activity can be linked to multiple. One business activity can be linked to multiple change request types. So all those linked objects would appear in our same UI level. So if I execute some process material for multiple, so all mass related business activities are available. So this is for create material. Similarly, here I have MATA0A. This is for MATA. This is for multiple materials to be processed. And similarly, we have one more CR type with the same ZMAT, not in this system. So anyway, so whatever the business if I assign this business activity to multiple CR types, all those CR types are visible at UI level when I go to NWBC. So if I go to MDGM and go with the process multiple, currently we have one CR type. This is business activity MATA for multiple process multiple. So so here you can see change request types F4. In the F4, whatever the CR types are assigned to the same business activity. For example, MAT01, let us go here and see the business activity MAT1. If I create one more CR type with this business activity, that also would appear there. So let me create ZMAT. 01. So I'm using same workflow. So if I go to this here, we have the same business activity for both of them. So I must be able to see both the CR types under same CR type. So if I click here now, so two CR types I can see because I clubbed both CR types under same business activity. Okay, this is what I wanted to tell. So to conclude, one logical action can be assigned to the multiple business activities, and one multiple CR types can be assigned to the one business activity. So we need to remember this, and and also whatever the workflow we assign here is important in the CR type. So CR type, this is the workflow which we are. This is the this is a workflow we are assigning. This is a BRF plus generic workflow, BRF plus based workflow. Okay, so I think here whatever if I select this checkbox, this is for single object. If I do not check this checkbox, I can process multiple objects in a single CR. So that's what we already discussed, and now we are going to discuss about the BRF plus based generic workflow, how to configure, and some more details. So, and also today we complete one hands-on on process modeling. You will be having some you will be having some knowledge of how to create the business all these configurations, and then how to design the process flow. How do we create the materials, or maybe it's change materials, we can see. Okay, one example we can take, and we can go through that. So here, so in our agenda today we have SAP MDG workflow. One workflow I explained, that is a generic workflow, and what are the available standard workflow templates. SAP has given this standard workflow template, and if we use these templates, standard workflow templates, the process would be remain same, and we just discuss about validations and derivations and rule-based workflow. This is a generic workflow we have. So this is for rule-based workflow. Configuring rule-based workflow, how do we configure, and what is the BRF plus rules definition and all, we see agent assignment and assign processor, like that. We see all these concepts, different concepts. So what is MDG workflow? So MDG workflow is said by MDG domain. So these workflows, whatever the workflows SAP has given, are particularly designed for MDG related. So if you see here, SAP business workflow is the technology or foundation of in any case. So I think if you are familiar with SAP, in SAP we have business workflows, and in business workflow we can design the workflow process. So here several standard workflow templates are derived for specific purpose. For MDG purpose, we have the number of workflows. Here you can see these are different workflow IDs we have, and here several one generic workflow is given by SAP. So this workflow can be used for multiple processes. So you can define your own process modeling. So what is process modeling? Already I have explained. Designing your workflow process. Let me conclude. So for example, I want to have this kind of workflow. For this is for requester, this is for reviewer, and this is for approver. So once requester takes the action, it goes to the next level. Once reviewer takes the action, it goes to the next final approval level. This is one workflow. Similarly, we can have complex workflows also, like a parallel workflow, or already I explained those workflows. So how do we design these workflows in BRF plus? So since you are not familiar with SAP standard workflows, what option we have is, other option we have is a BRF plus based workflow. So in BRF plus workflow, this is the BRF plus workflow WS 6080086. This is the standard generic workflow which can be used for design your own processes. So that we discuss in details in the later stage. So here, if you see financials, for financial standard workflow is available, and we can use the generic workflow also, rule-based workflow. If you want to use rule-based workflow, you can use. Otherwise, SAP given standard workflow also we can use, may not be feasible actually for our requirement. So here some example of the workflow templates. So here you can see single object workflow. So this is the workflow process template, and validation workflow. Like that we have standard workflows which are given by SAP. So if you see the point number 5, MDG application framework, rule based workflow. This is very important workflow, and we use this workflow to design our entire workflow processes. Okay. So here in the data quality and such, let us skip this for the moment. We cover only rule-based workflow first. So where do we configure our rule-based workflow? So let us go with the hands-on. So it will be clear to you one by one, point by point. So I have created my Z custom CR type. Just now I created, right? If I go here, ZMAT01. This is my custom object which can be used for creating a new material. Okay, and what is the main entity type? M material. So here you can see this is the main important point we need to understand. So WS6080086, this is the BRF plus based generic workflow I am using. So how do I design? I mean, if I go here, what is the business activity I assign? So create material. So this particular CR type can be used for creating a single material, not for multiple. Why I am saying single? Because this is applicable for single object only. So you want to design your own approval process. No. So the approval process, let us take one simple example like this. Same way, my requirement is data requester. So this is for data requester role. This is for reviewer. This is for approver. Okay, so this is what the flow I want. When it should come to the direct here, when user completes the approval process or finalization. Approval, approved. I want to move it to the next stage. If it is rejected, or you don't want to move further, so what I should do is I have to drive one system driven process. I want to execute one system driven process. So that is roll back whatever the changes or cancel the CR. Okay, this is my activity which is a system driven. This is a user driven. User gets involved in this. Okay. Who is that agent? Requester is my agent here. Okay. So if it is approved, it goes to the reviewer. If it is rejected, it goes to rollbacking. So if I add some details to some customer, so those details gets cancelled. Okay. What reviewer can do? Reviewer verifies the details and he can perform approval. Again, he also approved. If he approved, it goes to the approver. So if he rejects, what it should do? So it has to go back to the requester. This is what my requirement. Okay, it has to go to the requester, and so I'm just designing the diagrammatic related thing, and we design this in our system now. Okay, so if he rejected, it has to go back to the requester for modifications purpose. So here requester can again resubmit, or else he can withdraw a change request. So rollback has to happen. So that is what my requirement. So if reviewer approve, it goes to the approver next stage, and again he also can approve. If he approves, I want to process one system driven, that is activating the changes or activating the creation. Activate, this is for activate. Okay, so if this is for approval, if final approver also approve, so if you approve, I directly activates the material and it gets moved into the active area. So if he rejects, what is the thing? So I want to roll back. So again, I run this particular process, system driven process. So when when you reject the change. So this is what my requirement. So I need to design this in my process modeling. So first what we should do, let me, one moment, before we go ahead, change material.
Yeah, Mr. Shekhar, hi.
Yeah, Nicholas.
You
Yes,
have
Nicholas.
the possibility to reject it 2 times, in the beginning and in the end, after
Anytime I
approval.
can, yeah, anytime I can reject. So if the final approver rejects, anytime I
Yeah.
can, reviewer also can send back for revision, right?
Okay.
So at this,
Yeah.
so any stage modifications are required. So when I reject, reviewer rejects, it goes to the requester and he modifies, and if we want, he resubmit. Okay. If
Okay.
requester don't want to make the changes, and this is not required at the moment, this material, so again he rejects and rollbacks complete changes. So two times
Okay.
it is possible. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
So yeah. So what I can do is, since create requires more changes, what we can do is we can go with change process, change material. So one object, one change, I can copy. I can copy the CR type into my Z, and it is 02, and same workflow I have, and this is for single object processing, and the business activity is the copy on. Now I'm doing copy business activity here. So MAT02 is the business activity and process material. So this is not for the creation, this is for the change case. Okay, I'm just taking simple case first, and create case maybe you can try it out in the system. Okay, so just let me make sure system is working as required. The form should open. The material form should open here. there is some issue with this system. Let me try another system, please. Let us focus on process modeling only first. Create one change request, right? So whatever is available, I want to make changes. I think we can use this, and we can create one CR type for this. Mm, yeah. So I have authorization to this particular role, MDG C, master data management for the customer only. So this role has, and create mass maintenance is one of the change request type. So I am going to use the same here, and so what is the customer mass creation? Here we can see CU. So yes, customer process customer. Business problem. If I go to business activity, yeah. So this is the CR type we can use actually. So BPPM1P1. So I'm just copying this BPPM1 into Zcast one. I'm just creating, and here the workflow which we have is a different workflow. This is not a BRF based workflow. So I'm just adjusting it to the new workflow. This is a generic BRF plus workflow. So I just want to copy this. So this is for this is not for the single objects. This is for multiple. So I copy all. So I have business activity as a BPPM, and now I have a CR types Gcust1. Okay. So when I go there, okay. Now what I can do is I go here, and I can see my CR type Zcust U1. Just now I have Zcust1 is the CR type which I created. So I have to design my workflow. What is my workflow? We already discussed the same workflow I want to design. So here before we design, we need to understand few things. Let me take you to the BRF plus screen first. So here, right, NUSMD SSW rule. This is the key code we can use to go to the BRF plus, the BRF plus based screen, or in MDG also we can go to the rule based workflow here using under process modeling. We have created the change request type, and we are using the standard business activity, and now we are designing the workflow. Where do we design? We have to design our workflow in the rule base, because we have opted WS6080086. So first what we should do is define the steps. So for your CR type, what are the steps you want to have? So I just create steps for Gcust1. This is our CR type, right? Gcust1. So we have to select the cust1. And the steps, first approver is first requester is my step 01. I'm assigning, and no validations. I want to trigger requester step. Similarly, Zcust1 02 is the second step I want to, and reviewer is the here reviewer step I just want to opt for. Zcust 103 I am assigning it to approver. So just I'm not taking too complex things, and just a very simple CR step, and I am not also validating anything at the moment. So just you create the steps first. Okay, Zcust U1 has 3 steps: 01, 02, 03. So 1 is for requester, 2 is for reviewer, and 3 is for approver. So I have created the steps. Okay, now I have complete things, steps level. So now I have to, if you want to trigger any baddies during process, you use this step, otherwise you skip this. And let us go to the configure rule based workflow. So let us go there. One is our CR type, right? So I need to select our CR type here, we mentioned, and click on continue. So it asks for the change request, transport request. So I don't want to create any transport request for this. If you want to create, you just select, otherwise you can create it as a local object. Okay, I go with the local object. So here you can see one catalog item has been created for your CR type. So already as SAP, when you create the CR type, automatically it creates a catalog item like this. So under this catalog item, we have several folders. One is BRF plus application, trigger function, rule sets, and CR type related service names, and decision tables. So here we don't have anything to do, but we have mainly here, under decision tables, we have three decision tables. These are the important decision tables. So one is single value decision table, second one is user agent decision table, third is non-user agent. So user agent is nothing but wherever the steps involved with user. So user only can perform these steps. Okay, that is for user agent. So this single value is the main table, which is drive the complete workflow. You design the workflow here. So non-user agent is another decision table, and this is specifically for the system-driven processes. For example, when the approver approves my change request, I want to activate the data. So then that is activation is a system-driven step. So when it comes to the requester and he finishes his work and he want to submit the data, so this is a user agent decision table. So single value is here you design the complete steps for your workflow. So you need to understand the columns of this particular table first, and then we go to these tables. Just let us understand single value decision table. So here first column is CR previous step, previous action, change request priority. These are optional things. Priority, request reason, rejection reason. These are optional things. This is for parent step and parallel agent group number. These are required for the parallel workflows. Now we don't have any parallel steps. So one important column is condition alias. This is the condition alias. Whatever the condition alias you mention here, the particular record, the condition alias will be linked to these two tables. Either it is a user agent condition alias or a non-user agent. So we design that here. And new change request step, whatever the new change request step you want to have, you will be adding here, and new CR status you add here. So let me create one row first, so we can have some understanding. First you edit the table and add a row. Okay, I added the row. So here the initial step was 0, 0 because I don't have any step defined. So this is my starting, and no action is involved because this is the starting point. And once you begin your workflow, where should it go? So I define an condition alias This is the requester level. So I just gave one ID, just REQ. This is a one free text field, and you can enter whatever the condition alias number you want to have. So I just enter REQ, and what is the new change request step? This is important thing. So here, where it should come once he approves, immediately it should come to, so it should come to the 0 1 step of. Why? In the sense, I defined change request steps here. You can see. Let me go there. I defined the steps here, right? For my CR type, zcust1 has 3 steps. 1 is for requester, 2 is for reviewer, 3 is for approver. So I gave step 1. Immediately it should come to the requester. So I just this just picked up the text of the step number also. What status you want to see? This is another important. I think already we discussed what are the statuses available. So which status, which step is appropriate for us? So at the stage, I mean this initial stage, changes to be executed. We have not yet entered any data for the particular customer. So I'm just creating one status, that is changes to be executed. Why I selected this particular step? We have some meaning actually for the changes to be executed. So let me go back here. If you go to the edit statuses of the change request, click here. So I selected this step. So what it do? You can do all processes. So you can make the changes. If I give this step, final check to be approved, I mean fourth one, what happens? No processing. So you will not be able to edit the particular object at this stage. So after final check approved, also you cannot edit the any details of the customer. So I have to select this because I want to allow user to make the modifications to the data. So I created one row. This is my row, first row. So it comes to the requester and waits in this status, and requester can perform some activities. So who is requester? Here I have a condition alias. So under condition alias, I have to requester. Is it a user driven step or non-user driven step? So we are involving requester. So this is a obviously user driven step. So I have to go into the user agent table. I enter that condition alias here. So what is my condition alias? I already entered in the row number 1. REQ is my condition alias. So same condition alias has to be maintained here. So agent group, I can give 001. So here this particular column has some importance. So step type 1, 2, 3, 4, like that we have. So if I assign 2, already we discussed what are the step types we have. So for example, if I give step type, where do we define the step types? Define step types, already we discussed here. So each step type has some actions, right? I want to show 2 buttons to the user. I mean, when it comes to the UI, either user can perform approve or reject. So requester can make the changes and he can approve to submit it further. He can reject to roll back the changes whatever he made to the customer. So I selected step number 2. So if I select step 1, what user can see, what buttons, either he can agree or disagree. So these are the decisions we want to show to the user. So process change request. So he can finalize or send for revision. So there is no meaning, right? At requester level, if I assign step 3, what happens? He can finalize or else send for revision. Send for revision Is it possible? Send for revision means what? What exactly means? He has to send it to someone. So I don't want to. I mean, here nobody can take care, right? If I send for revision, so I just want to give a reject option or approve option. So user would be able to select either approve or reject. So here, that's why I selected 2 actually. Step number, whatever we configured there in the MDG IMG level, those steps only are visible here. Appropriate actions will be attached accordingly whatever step I select. So here, if you go here, direct value, user type, who is my agent, who is the requester. So a requester can be a user or a org unit or a job or a position or a role, anything can be. So here in this case, I want to give a user because I am the user and I want to receive the requester step. So MDG user, MDG user 1. This is the user ID I gave. So I maintain the condition alias for REQ. So when it comes to the row number 1, 0, I mean when you are trying to create the change request, it comes to the requester and waits for in the status, and who is the processor, it picks up from the condition alias. So condition alias REQ is available either in user agent decision table or non-user agent decision table. So I maintained in the user agent decision table. So when it comes to the user agent decision table, so it identifies MDG user 1 as the agent, and these buttons should appear. So that is the reason I attached this. So I finished 1 row of creating, and now again at the requester level, after he finished his work, after he finished the modifications to the change request, what he can do, there are 2 actions I assigned, right, to user. So my previous step is 0, 1. This is for requester, right? Requester can take 2 actions. One is approve. This is the previous action button. So either he can approve. One more row I need for requester reject option. So 0, 1 means requester finished the previous step. He can take an action reject also. So reject is 0, 4 I attach here. So just based on the decisions of the requester, it goes to the next step. So if it is approved, what I want to do, I want to process this further, assign it to the reviewer. So I just define a condition alias REV as a reviewer, and what is the step number? I mean, a new change requester 02 I want to assign. So reviewer can take the step in the inbox. So what he can do? What is the status I want to show? So just what I want to show is final check to be performed. So reviewer can do final check performed. Okay, this is when this action, when this the workflow comes to the request reviewer. So if requester finishes his work and clicks on the approve button, then only it comes to the new step, reviewer step, and the status will be set to the final check to be performed. REV is a user agent driven, right? So reviewer is a user. So I maintain here again the condition alias in the reviewer table. So what is my condition alias name? REV is my condition alias name. So again, we don't have additional groups, so only one group 001, and what what options he must be able to see, what actions he should be able to perform. If you want to show finalize or send for revision, you have to assign this. Okay, so process change request. Why I assigned 3? I just want to show you why I have. So if I assign process change request. So what he can do, either he can finalize the processing and send it to the next approver, or else he send for the revision. So if he send for revision, it has to go to the requester. So if I want to opt that, what I should do? So I have to provide the option. Send for revision means it has to go to the requester, otherwise so it goes to the approver. So I have to design that. So here, so I maintain that who is the reviewer. Again, I am the reviewer because I have this user ID only. I don't have, again, if it comes to my user ID, my inbox, then only I can perform. So if requester rejects, what it should do? So at requester level, if he rejects what we planned actually here in the spreadsheet level, if requester rejects, I want to roll back the changes. Okay, so how can I design that? I have to assign a system driven here. So what is the condition alias? So I want to give is RBC, rollback. So this is the condition alias I define. And do we have any additional step? I don't have any additional step. I want to close the workflow complete, and the status I want to set is final check rejected. Final check rejected. So the workflow will be closed at the requester level itself if requester clicks on the reject button. So where do I define, where I should define the RBC condition alias? Is it a user agent or non-user agent? This is a system driven process. So I have to go into the non-user agent decision table and I create the entry here, RBC. RBC is fine. So here again the agent group process pattern is the important point here. So in the user agent decision, we have step type. Here we have process pattern. So these are the process patterns we have. So what exactly we want to do now? If user rejects, I want to roll back. So rollback action can be done using a process pattern 08. Similarly, if I select 05, that is for activation. So here we want a rollback. So I'm just clicking on the rollback action. Just so this rollback condition alias has been defined. Okay. Now again go to the single value. Okay. So if requester approves, what happened? It goes to the reviewer. So reviewer took the workflow. Now reviewer can see two options: either finalize or finalize change request, or he can send for revision. So I have to design that step. So add. So I go to the 02 reviewer step. Reviewer can do either finalize processing, or what additional thing he can do? Send for revision. Send for revision. So send for revision action is 06. Okay, if he finalizes, what you want to do? I want to send it to the approver. So how can you send it to the approver? Again, you need to define one more condition alias, and what will be the step? next step. So it goes to the approver. 03 is our next step. Okay. So it goes to the approver, and approver can do final check perform again. To be considered and approved. This is the thing I want to assign. Okay. If he sends back, so reviewer can also send back. So where it goes? It should go to the requester. Again, this is a user agent, right? So requester, for requester agent, already we have one condition alias. Same I can reuse here. I don't need to define a new row. So where it goes? Again 01 requester step it has to go. So again here, what status I want to set? So changes to be executed. This is the status I want to assign to the requester. Okay. So now what is pending? APR is pending. APR condition alias did we define? No. So this is the user agent. Approver is a user. So I can assign one row here. Anywhere we can define, anywhere just for here. APR is a condition alias I gave in the single value table, and I maintain that here. Who is the what is the process pattern he must be see. He must be able to activate the change request, right? So I want to give a activate button. Okay, so approval. So activate is he can see the activate button. So who is the approver? Myself, I want to be an approver, so I give user as agent. Mdg user 1. Okay. So let us see what options are available for step type 5. So if I give step type 5, what he can do? What are the actions he can see? He can activate, or he can send for revision. So if he send for revision, who will receive? Again requester. So I have to create that rows, those two rows. So again for approver, there are two actions possible. So I have to maintain the two possible options. 03 approver, right? So for approver, what are the possible actions? One is activate. So activate is available as a 09 code, and the other is send for revision. Send for revision is 06. So if he activate, what you want to do? I want to activate the change request. So activation is ACT is the condition alias I am giving, and who will what will be the next step? So if you activate, that is the finish of the workflow, right? After activation, I don't want to see any further steps. So if activation is successful, I want to set status final check approved. If it is for the revision, if it is for the send for revision, who will be receiving? Again, requester has to receive the. So again, what will be the new step? 01 is the new step, and changes to be executed. Changes to be executed. So already a REQ condition alias is available, APR is available, RBC available, REB available, REQ available. So ACT I have not yet maintained. ACT condition alias, this condition alias should be where? Is it in user agent? Activation is a user agent step or non-user agent? So activation is means when it is the changes which you have made should get committed into the database. So how it happens? This is by system actually. So you add a new row here, ACT condition alias. ACT is my condition alias 001 agent group, and I can see. So activate, what is the process pattern you have to see. So 05 is my process pattern for the activation. Okay. So I gave the condition alias. So is my workflow is closed now? So if it approver send for revision, again it goes to the requester, and requester can approve or reject. So if he rejects, it gets rolled back. So it is a closing loop actually. Completely I have everything in place. So my workflow process is ready. So activate all the tables by clicking on the edit. You can activate. Just a small revision I give here. What I did is one small change I did. So if approver, here I gave buttons differently. Here I gave activate. Here send for revision is another button I have given here. So send for revision. Okay, what is my activation code for send for revision? 06. Right. So if I send for revision, what is happening here? Is going back to the requester. Okay, requester only can reject. If I activate, it goes and gets closed actually. Okay. So reviewer level, what actions I have added? Finalize, I added 05 is the action for finalize. This is for activate. 09 is the action code which we have, and similarly here 03 is for approve. 04 is for reject. So here the requester reviewer cannot reject. He just finalize or send for revision. So here I gave 06 send for revision. Okay. So this is what the workflow we designed. So is it clear? I mean, I hope, workflow wise this is clear. Nicholas?
Yes, clear, absolutely. Yeah. Thank you.
So, yeah, Lakshmi, how about you? Lakshmi, is it clear?
Yeah,
I can review it.
just
I
in the
can revise.
system, I'm just a little confused.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
please. Because in the system, I got a little confused. Only the decision tables, rest all is okay. Decision tables.
Yeah. Decision tables. Let us see once again. So it will be very clear to you. So steps. We already created steps in MDG, IMG, right? So step number 01 is for requester, 02 for reviewer, 03 for approver. So what I am weaving here, this is my workflow process. So what it do? So first, when you start the workflow, 00 means you have not yet started. Previous step was 00. When you start, immediately I want to assign my work item to the requester. So I created one condition alias. This condition alias is the important point, which refers either user agent table or non-user agent table. It checks for the relevant row. REQ is available in which table? I defined it in requester table. So for example, if I simulate, you will see what is the, if I give REQ, it picks up the relevant row. Okay, execute. What it do is it picks up the who is my agent for the requester. So this condition alias is the input, and output would be the row of that particular who is my agent. So this step can be performed by this user only. So it is assigned like that. So similarly, for reviewer, I have created one more condition alias. For approver, I created one more condition alias. Each condition alias has different step types here. Approve change request. Why I assigned approve change request? So I want to give user two options. One is either approve or reject. So here process change request, step type has two actions. One is finalize or send for revision. Step type 5 has two actions, activate or send for revision. So who is the agent for all these steps? MDG user 1. I want to take into my inbox only. If I assign, if we have different users or different roles, we can assign to the different roles. But I mean here, what I want to do is I want to take into my inbox. Okay, that's the reason I gave this particular user ID. Okay, so condition alias is the meaning of the row actually. So here I have created two condition alias, RBC, ACT. These are non-user steps. So RBC means rollbacking the change request. ACT means activation of the change request. So process pattern is the column where you can specify the what process system has to do. So 08 is the process pattern for rollbacking the changes. 05 is the process pattern for activating the change request. So these are the condition alias I created in both the tables. So whenever the step, I mean now let us look into the single value. So whenever it comes to the row number 1, it checks what is the condition alias REQ. So it is available in user agent table, and who is taking this step, it goes to this step and it assigns this step to requester. Who is the requester? MDG user. So it understands like that. And what is the status of the change request to be set? So here 02 changes to be executed. Like that, I mean in this stage, user can perform two actions, either approve or reject. Requester will be receiving two actions, so he can perform either of the options. So based on that, if he approves, I am sending it to the reviewer, otherwise rollbacking. So let us see, I mean maybe in system one creation process, then it makes you more clear. So let me go to the change request tab. Test. So what is my CR type? I designed my CR type Z cust1, and I assigned my workflow process to this particular CR type only. Where did I assign? So this is the catalog. When you create a CR type, automatically this is the catalog, and these decision tables are main driving points for the CR type. So let me go back. I selected my CR type, go next, and enter customer. So you have to mention which is your customer, business partner. I'm just mentioning. So just I give one random number, or else you can select any of the existing business partner if there is any. Otherwise, just leave it. I mean, I'm mainly focusing on process, not the creation process. So let us have 9 itself. That's a dummy value, dummy code I have given. and submit. I have not triggered any validations in any step. So what is the change request I created? 350. Who will take this change request? Requester has to take. Okay. So when I go to the 350, when I go to show my change request 350, the status will be changes to be executed. So take some time. Here, I mean, system is very slow, so it is taking some time. If we want to verify, we can go to SWIA R1. So there we can see where exactly it is waiting. So this started, agent router finder has started and not yet completed. That's why the status is not set. So if you go to here, see zcust cr type, what is the step? 0, and action, no action, and it is trying to set the status now. Not set. And once it is set, it gets reflected here. For earlier also, it took like a lot of time here. Oh, here it is showing error. This is for 349, not for 350. Yeah. So now it got picked up, the status. Okay. So first time we are, I mean, it is reading the BRF tables. So it takes little time and it completed the action and it said that status. Okay. And if I click on this, what options I must be able to see? Either approve or reject. So if I maintain the data and approve, it goes. I mean, somehow I'm not very sure whether the UI level screens are working properly here. Let me see. I am facing very big challenge with the systems. Training systems are not really proper. So I want to create new. So let me. So I would try to change something here. I mean, I pick up 12. I pick up 12 here instead of 9. So save. If I can make the changes, that would be good. Even so, if I click single processing for the 12, okay. Yeah. Change request is locked by Mdg user limited maintenance. So if I want to make some changes to this customer, I can make here. So just I gave AUT1 as my authorization group. So only one field I changed, and I finished my changes and save. So I mean I don't need to save again, but here we have a validation related services. If you click here, you can see the change documents also. I mean, if I make change to make sure. So let me approve this by after I change the authorization group, I am approving this. So if I approve it, it goes to next step. What is the next step? So it should go to the reviewer, and reviewer must be able to do some activity, either finalize or send for revision. So it is ready for user action. Okay, we finished this step, completed the requester step, and now it is at the reviewer level. So let me go 350. Reviewer also my user ID I maintain. Okay, so here if I go to change documents, I must be able to see what changes I made. So somehow change documents are not captured here. It seems some problem might be there. So if I finalize, let us focus on the changes. I mean, instead of, otherwise I can go here and go to single processing. So I cannot make the changes because I set the status like that. So final check to be performed. Only you can see the details. So I click on this and I can see the changes. Yeah, this field has changed. I'm okay with this data change. And as a reviewer, I am just going ahead and approving. Let me check if I can see changes here. Change documents, I can click here. I think I must be able to see the change documents for this, but somehow change documents are not captured, it seems. It's fine, but just let us focus on our process. So if I finalize, what it should do, it should go to the approval for final approval, or otherwise if I click on the send for review, it should go to the requester. Okay, I'm clicking on the finalize processing. First, it should go to the next level, right? So let me make sure it went to the approval. So the status to be considered and approved. So automatically it went to the next level. I can make sure again go to the workflow log, one more work item, and it went for the next level. So what options final approver can see? Either activate or send for revision. So either activate or send for revision. Okay. So if I am okay, I activate the changes, and the database level it reflects actually. The changes would reflect. Otherwise, it send for. If I click on send for revision, where it goes to the requester again. Okay. So I can go ahead and see the what changes the requester has changed. If I am okay, I click activate and click activate. So I activated. So now the final check approved status should come. Activation process is in progress. So here, once activation is completed in the database level, you can see final check approved. So see, final check approved status came, and if you go here into the 12 business partner, and if you see the customer details, this is the customer, right? So whatever the change I made to the authorization group, it should reflect. That is the activation successful message. Okay, if the data is committed, the activation should happen in the backend. I mean, somehow if there is a problem with the system, so I cannot assure the activation is possible. Let me go into the table and see whether the activation, I mean, activated data I can see in SC11. Go to KNA1 table. KNA1 is the master table for customer. So I'm just going here. So authorization group. See here, authorization group. So the data has been moved from staging table to active table. Okay. So here you can see, right, AUT1. So is it clear, Nicholas and Lakshmi? So the changes
Yeah,
are
yes,
reflecting. This is the active table, right? The KNA1 is the actual master data table. So here it is reflecting. So somehow, so that means the activation is successful, and so things are moving properly. So let me create one more change request and see rejection process. If I reject, what is going on, whether my workflow is working properly. So now we are okay, and we take the same example 12. I want to make some more changes. So let me go and create one more change request. Just customer update. So I take this here, right? You can give whatever the explanation you want for this CR type. So I want to make the changes to 12. Click here, add 12, enter, just go submit. So I created one CR. So it is in my inbox. So I create, I mean, so here you can, why I'm just taking only one business partner. If I want to take multiple, I can also take. So I just took only one. This is for mass, right? Mass maintenance. So you can have enter one more business partner also. But I took only one. So let me go ahead, and this is in changes to be executed state, and I want to make some changes. Single processing. So I can go to the customer, and I can click on the change button, edit button here. So I made this change earlier, right? So I just want to update this to AUT2. AUT2. I've done the changes. Save. Close this and approve. So at this stage, can we see the table the changes in table KNA1 reflects or not? Just to make sure. So if you see here, the old value was there. No, it's not a new value. Why? Because this is still in the staging table, not in the active table. Where do we can see the staging tables? If you go to SE38, I just show you that also. ESMD data model and BP. So BP header check table. If the authorization group is available, let me check. I try to authorization group field is available here. So see, so there are two records now available. One is with active version and other is with inactive version. See, so old value was here and new value is here. So at the moment we can see both the records in the staging table. Okay, once I do final approval, I will no more be able to see any record here. Okay, so let me go and simultaneously I want to send it. So right now where it is with the reviewer. So you can see here, go to workflow log. Requester finished his work and it is ready for reviewer. Just click it here and send for revision again. So I don't want to finalize, I want some changes to the data. So what I do, I send for revision. I see the data and I am not happy and I want you to make some more changes. So I send for revision. Again, what status it should pick up? It should go back to the requester. So changes to be executed. So now it is with requester. So this is the requester step. So now requester can make the changes again. Why it came to MDG user only? Because I maintained requester as as my ID. So all roles I have. So I am doing all the things. So in real case, it is not like that. I mean, segregation of roles happen, and they can make the changes accordingly. So one more field let us make. So this is the station I want to maintain. Expression. So this is an additional field I have maintained here. Is it available in this table? Yeah, express station is available here. So the data is currently blank. Okay, in both the records you see express station is blank. So if you see here also it is blank. Once I submit as a requester, automatically that data comes in the staging table. See, so I made one more change. 2 changes I did in this because the reviewer asked me to make the changes to the express station. So I did the changes and I am approving as a requester. Again it goes to the reviewer. So final check to be performed. Now let us see in the staging tables if the data is available. Refresh, click here, see whatever the record I maintained, whatever the data I maintained, it came here in the which version? Inactive version only. If you go and see the active version, old value was there and express station was blank. So this is the way it temporarily holds the data in staging level. Okay. So let me, so as a reviewer, again I go and see the data and I'm okay with the details. So next I just finalize the processing. So now it is still in the inactive mode only. So you cannot see you can see both the versions. So once the final check activated, then only you will be able to see the changes. So at the moment in this also, in this KNA1 table also, you can see AUT1 as the old version only and express station was blank. Once I activate, you will be able to see. So I'm just activating now. So you can observe the staging table, the records get activated and only one version, and immediately it gets deleted from here. You will not be able to see. Okay, and you will be able to see the to be considered and approved. So if you see the workflow log here, it is with the next step and approver. Approver can activate. I activate the changes. So if I activate here, it should reflect the final check approved. See, now final check approved. Let us go and see here. If I refresh, no data is there. It is cleared from the staging. And if you go to the KNA1 table, and see the refresh data. After refresh, see AUT has been moved here, and also express station field has been picked up here. So this is what the process modeling. Okay, if I am approving, the changes are moving here. If I, as a requester, if I have rejected, the request will be set to the final check rejected, and the changes would not come here. So for that, let me show one more. Final check approved we have seen, right? So let us see final check rejected case. I mean, just a
Sorry,
minute.
Mr. Srikar, I miss some screen because I want to bring the charger. In the staging table, now you have 2 line or 1 line?
No line, no line. Both the lines are just temporarily, it gets saved here. Okay, for the temporary purpose. After activation, both the lines deleted from here, and the version, I mean 0 version, whichever to be activated, right? To be activated version will be moved into the KNA1 table. So here you can see the changes.
Okay. No problem. Thank you.
Okay. And let me explain the final check rejected case, what happens. So test final check rejected. I want to see. So again, I'm taking one more test. So specify business. So I'm taking same example, same business partner. I submitted. Now it is with the requester. So my change request, in this change request, this is my change request. So I want to do the final check rejected case. So let me make some changes, and then as a reviewer, I send it back and requester withdraws. So I go to the I make one change here. So I just make a to 3 here. So after submitting, I save the details and close. Okay, here I approve. As a requester, I'm okay with these changes and I approve. So immediately you can see here some records again gets created. Active version was one version and the inactive version. Both versions would be there here. AUT2, AUT3. So these two versions are there. And if you go to the KNA1 table, you will be able to see only active version. This is the active version, right? So now I go back to this tab. So now it is with the reviewer. You can see the workflow log. So it is with the reviewer, ready for finalization or send for revision. So let me click on this and send for revision. So I don't want to approve this. So rollback should happen. So send for revision. So now it is with the requester. So changes to be executed state. So here, if I click here, so both versions are still there. You can see here. And in KNA1 table, active version was there. Okay. So now as a requester, I am rejecting. That means I am withdrawing this change. So because reviewer don't want to allow me to make the changes to the authorization go. So he confirmed. So to withdraw, so that we can add in the notes level, but I did not add. If I add, it could have come here. Okay. So let me reject. So when you are rejecting, you have to mention the comments. So authorization group must be AUT true. So that is the comment I added, and so I rejected. the changes. So here the status should pick up final check rejected. Yeah, it happened. So the changes which I made has been rolled back. So if you see here, the data gets cleared from here. And if you see in KNA1, old version only would be there, AUT2, because I don't want to approve, I don't want to activate. So rollback happened and AUT2 was there. So this is the way data governance happened. So process modeling we did in the data here at BRF plus table level, BRF plus decision tables level. These decision tables are driven by, these decision tables drives a workflow which is given by SAP. That is, so step by step everything is recorded here. The log you can see here. Okay, the log is here, and also if I go to SWDD and see the workflow template, BRF workflow template, WS 60800086. This is the workflow template. So this is the workflow. Actually, this is a generic workflow. SAP developed this framework. So each step level, some activity gets performed actually. So I told you some process patterns, right? So rollback, activate, and how to. Here I mentioned the get process. So we have process patterns. Whatever I maintain in the data BRF table, it gets the process pattern, and here it takes the appropriation. So if I mention 08 as a process pattern, so this workflow knows what to do: rollback, change request. So how the rollback is happening? So it goes to the respective step. Decisions are there. So 08 is my decision to roll back. So where is discard changes? Rollback change request. See, this is the decision. Process pattern 8 means discard changes. So this activity is performed by this particular task. In the technical, it uses a business object and it rollbacks the changes. If it is activate process pattern, so it goes to the particular step here. Activate is one more decision. So I have here. See, activate is the step. I click here. So this is the business. This method would take care of the activation. So this is a system driven step. Okay, that is the reason it is here. Activate is SAP framework makes the data activated. So in the back end, whatever the decision you added in the decision table level drives this workflow, and completely it prepares the process. So if you want to see the workflow driving process, WIA here, I go here and let me go to any step here. So whatever the actions you have taken, so who acted on this particular, so Mdg user. So this is agent step. Wherever you see this icon, this is agent step. Remaining are system driven backend steps. So who has taken? All these clearly mentioned. Troubleshooting purpose, you can review this. And if you want to see the workflow in graphical way, you just click here. So the graphical way, you can see everything. So the green highlighted things are really processed things. Okay. So if you see UI dialog, wherever it is applicable, if you see here, this is a rollbacking. Just I roll back, right? So I took the rollback action. So it came here. So finally it rolled back. and closed the workflow. Okay, so this is all about the workflow design in BRF class. So completely, I think we covered one scenario, one important thing. So simple workflow I designed in this way, and I have shown. So we developed the decision tables for this process, and we processed everything here. So if you have any doubt, you just we can discuss in the next session. So try to design this. You have this particular recording with you now. I think Naveen would share. You try it in the system and let me know whether you are able to follow this or not. So if we need to revise anything, we can revise in the next session, because I mean this is very important, right? So otherwise there is no use of learning MDG, right? I mean, so if you are learning MDG, this is process modeling is the heart for MDG. Okay.
Okay, please, could you,
Yes, Shekhar. Thank you. Yeah.
did you use this one with the same server that we have, Mr. Sikar?
This is something different. I hope, I'm not sure whether we can share this. This is a different, I mean, not owned by Naveen. So I will ask that guy and share these details. Okay, if you are okay.
Yeah, because maybe we'll not find the same data and the same. I don't know if he. I don't know with Naveen the server will have the same. That will have the same data or not?
Yeah, Naveen server also must have this particular thing. I mean, somehow some problem was there. He did not. I mean, he need to fix that. I mean, I don't know whether Naveen, are you there? Hello, Naveen. Okay. Okay. Just drop a mail to Naveen. If he, I mean, meanwhile, I will check with this guy whether I can share with you. So accordingly, I will share the details with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Please, because I prefer to repeat the same scenario, the same configuration, the same server. You know.
Oh,
Just
okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Sikar. Okay, thanks a lot. It's
Yeah.
clear.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hi,
Thank you very
Shekhar.
much.
Shekhar, so next class will be tomorrow?
Yes. We will be having continuous classes in
Yeah, so tomorrow at same time, 7:30 p.m., right?
7:30. Yeah, 7:30. And just I mean, be prepared with this session, important session. So next class, I want to explain you parallel processing. Before that, you must be clear with this serial processing.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Shekhar. Sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you both.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.